Their view has some Vic just black and white has become the past. Some people are angry for a few days and then become like that. Some people have pain and just laugh it off. Has dissolved into foam. There are situations whereby enduring a little pain one becomes resilient. There are some things in life that you don't care about, but you do care about and don't do. What is life without consequences and results? Who you are is your choice, others cannot decide. Actually in life there is no difficulty that cannot be overcome. There is no person in life that cannot be left without being appreciated. If it no longer makes sense, you must know how to turn your back. You may cry, you may be heartbroken, but never despair because of the tears. Today's eyes will be tomorrow's maturity, every scar will become strength too. You are more persistent on the road ahead. Life should perfect itself. Don't interfere in other people's lives, no matter what the relationship is. People should come and go. Warmly welcome the person leaving, calmly see them off. Don't expect anything from someone who doesn't belong to you. Don't expect anything from someone who isn't sincere to you. Just hope time always changes. Everyone will change no matter how hard they try. If you can't go back, then it's still forever. A truly strong person is not one who cannot fall, but can also hold water. Eyes in and keep moving forward. Be patient, a little persistent even if not yet. Seeing hope also needs to believe in yourself, sometimes also needs courage to carry. Burden a little beyond normal strength. After trying you will find out. My ability is also much more miraculous than I imagined. Life's journey is not just about smooth and flat, so learn to accept and smile and wipe dry the tears, dissolve the hardships and continue on the path you have chosen. Work to do because the road ahead for each person is very long with many sections to do. Walk alone because the one who gave birth to you will grow old and the one who loves you will also grow old. Will leave only you yourself must persevere to. The path you are on is your choice, so no matter how difficult it is, remember to persevere. The heart must go to the end of life. There is no obstacle that cannot be overcome. Every job has its own joys as everyone has their own worries. Tired legs can think, heartaches then be silent, hurt and uncomfortable then sit down and rest. Comfort yourself no matter what, no need to show a miserable face in front of everyone. When you encounter something that makes you feel sad, look up. The vast sky and earth will help you. Tolerate all sorrows and enjoy all things big and small. Arise in life because tomorrow when you rest you will realize the truth. They are so important, so many things have to wait until they become memories. To realize the value they carry, one must probably go through a lot. Many roads of experience, many glory and hardships to be able to grow. When you see a person clearly without saying anything, you will understand the meaning of forgiveness. If you don't like someone and don't turn your back on them, you will feel the pinnacle of respect. Respect an adult not because he lives long, travels everywhere and has experience many things, because they know when to let go or be tolerant to limit. The struggle for freedom in the heart of everyone has suffered more or less other pain. Not because it's over so they no longer have feelings, but because they know that even if they say it, it won't work. Not solving anything, just making yourself weak or have scars. Love is not caring, but we understand we can only silently face it. We'll recover no matter how bad life is now. Need courage to face. Don't think about avoiding things and don't curse or resent. Cole should be happy a little because it is useless. Usually short-term good control of mood can be calm and peaceful even. No matter how much sadness you experience, it will all fade into oblivion. Is forever because life is half memory and the rest is to go on. Let's return all the unhappy things of yesterday to give to today's happiness. Believe in hope and send tomorrow all your efforts. Life is like a cup of tea. When you first drink it, it will feel bitter. But that's not all. Go through the bitterness, will feel the gentle sweetness. We get tired because we hesitate between persevering and giving up. Sometimes we don't understand. But in my heart I don't want to accept the truth, a pain that doesn't lie in the place. How to forget depends on whether you have enough courage to step forward to reach it. New or not, it's just a matter of time and change. Move without blame, do not lament, do not grieve, do not calculate, keep a pure heart. Walk lightly on the beautiful road, just keep a positive mood. Faced with difficulties, stay calm, think, and change your perspective. Failure must try again to restore confidence. The world is big, mixed people. How can we not meet petty people who are petty and ignorant of worldly affairs? Sad body, think moderate, look wrong. Just quietly resolve your anger and then smile lightly. Learn to face yourself, be open to life, practice forgiving mistakes. To pass each day in peace using a humble attitude, to work with all my heart. Sincere to hurt or happiness in waves. Living in the sea of mulberry trees, going to the middle of the mind and then luckily following the country. Please return life to the sea to return sadness. Again by the joy of quietly watching the river clear at the surface of love flowers floating garbage. Drifting away from the self, liberation. Liberation is leaving the self, looking deeply into the heart of birth and death meets peace forever. The number one article does not need to be so clear and black. White has a saying, water that is too pure has no fish, people that are too critical have no table. Disputes with family members are won, then family affection is lost, calculation with. If the lover is clear, the feelings will fade. The music of winning and losing with friends will be different. When you win, there is no more friendship. When arguing, people only focus on reason. Forget that what is lost is love and what is hurt is yourself. What is black then white is best white. Let time demonstrate to abandon one's own stubbornness and use tolerance to judge others. Add a little enthusiasm, a little calm and warmth and life will always be there. Sunshine and forever I will be the winner. Life is a process of self-reflection. Don't be ambitious. Everyone is the same. Don't expect everything to go your way. Life has no fixed pattern. Just a pure and warm heart. If you encounter trouble, you will find joy yourself. Don't forget to be happy. No matter how busy you are, remember to keep a little bit of your youth. Don't lose your health. When you're tired, stop and rest. Don't lose your joy. Enjoy life. Just always remember the destination in your heart and know what you are doing and where you are now. Rest assured you won't get lost. Where article number high is also away. There is not enough time in life to regret eating. Then no need to say again already in love, no need to roll around. Once broken, it's already broken, no need to hold on to each other's lives, it's just that. Is a journey of glory and wealth like dew on flowers in the early morning. If you are born with nothing, you will not be able to take anything with you when you die. Nothing, just follow nature. You may be nothing to one person but to another you may be everything. Is a priceless treasure, remember your value to have appropriate behavior. No need to invite too many people into your life to meet someone who loves you. Will learn how to thank the person you love, naturally know how to share. People who do not understand you will know how to tolerate meeting people you do not understand if. With heart you will practice the art of understanding. Understand article number 3. Know enough money, more money, less enough to eat. Ugly and beautiful people are fine, old and young people are fine, healthy is fine. Rich and poor, harmony means the husband comes home early or late, and the wife says whether he comes home early or late. More or less, being brave will have children. Big and small, being filial will have a doctorate, then it is good to sell vegetables. Also, after growing up and settling down, having a big or small house to live in is enough. The common store can be used for 2 wheels and 4 wheels. Boss. Good and bad, patience is how much trouble you can let go of, stubbornness is how much you can endure. To be able to pick up and let go is to be a human being for life. Peace is to be who is right and who is wrong. Heaven. Knowing is to cultivate blessings, cultivating wisdom. Knowing is to cultivate. Speaking back and forth, understanding is to cultivate. Heaven and earth, all things depend on fate, so many things can happen. See through. Self-reminder article number 4. Always respect others and cultivate tolerance and gratitude. Thanks to the tolerance of 100 rivers, it becomes vast. Be grateful to friends for their support and be grateful to your opponents because thanks to them you become stronger. There are 2 things in this life. We cannot help but either move or stop. Are you using your mind? Positive mood to do it. Positive mood is a good companion. The best way to keep us happy and healthy with those close to us or far away is if we have. Fate is mutual, so you should know how to give and take to maintain a good relationship because on normal days it is not. Low in sense when urgently hugging Buddha's feet is useless, so must know how to accumulate. Human love is like a bank account, the more you deposit, the longer it lasts. Then Huloi will be higher. When encountering something, do not be impatient, do not give up. Make hasty conclusions, especially when gradually becoming famous, must know how to put yourself in many different positions. Look at each other and make big things small and small things small without any complications. Complexity should be solved gently and definitely do not make simple things difficult. Most of the troubles of people in life are. It comes from the useless comparison that there are people who are not as good as you. But there are also people you can't get when you complain about not having die. Then remember the man who has no legs to walk on. If the opponent makes you angry, proves you still can't get over it. They turned around to see who was scolding them. Who is not necessary, like when bitten by a mad dog should you bite. It's just that he's angry, so there's no need to pay too much attention to the malicious words of others. Don't see work as a burden instead of complaining and making her upset. Look at work in a positive and cheerful way, see life as art. You will Enjoy the joy it brings to live one more day is also a blessing. Should know to cherish human life is only a few short decades should not do. Things that make you regret deeply the sunrise from the calm east sea. Sadness and sadness also pass, happiness also one day do not care about the market. If you don't do anything useless, your life will be peaceful and your spirit will be light. Gentle article number of years in life. If life is measured in breaths, then each person's life, no matter how long or short, just wrapped up in the year yesterday, today, tomorrow and tomorrow. Then live meaningfully every day, thank yesterday for the past. Cannot change, just be grateful that you are still alive, be grateful to your parents. Bring us to this beautiful life so that every day we can see the sunrise. Clear mind looking at the scene feels life miraculous, enjoy joy. Yesterday's summary of our way. Going through is joy, happiness and success, but also has pain and sorrow. Suffering and failure where mistakes then do it again. Yesterday's failure will be the foundation. The foundation for tomorrow's success cannot ignore learning, and it cannot be learned from others. Deny progress, grasp today, cherish the present. Study hard, practice diligently, move forward steadily. Yesterday was already yesterday. No, tomorrow has not come yet, only now, here, present, work hard to cultivate. Tomorrow will have something to harvest and pursue. Tomorrow is always the future. Promising and fascinating, ideally to be planted now too. Tomorrow become a real fearless tomorrow we will be. Try in the past and present so the future will definitely be good, so don't worry, this is the natural law of development, like day and night cannot be. Every day of life is precious, don't regret today's hesitation. Past passively waiting for tomorrow to live fully in each present moment. Because I am not ashamed of the meaning of life, life is almost over, but sorrow is not over yet. So many worries but nothing works out, looking up at the purple sunset. Listen to the heavens and earth contain deep reason. Yesterday afternoon, the street was quiet, people walked slowly, where are we going? Life was bowed to the horizon. With the rhythm of the earth, Mukoi seems to waste our life in the mist. The dark world is about to get dark, but the feet do not know the way back. The bright morning light is pink. Oh, fake. One's own efforts are to one's own detriment. How many more lives will my life of dreams and noodles still be filled with nostalgia? The salty sea is full of other storms, no one knows who we are to indulge in life in exchange. Smile through tears, a candle shining when the sun is about to set. Off this little bit low, T-Bin Min turned his face inside to catch the bull chase. Form for 10,000 lives up to the end of the day, close your eyes closed, love the day of innocence. Long O human world, do you know the dream world? Is the article number S salty bland evil mind. Usually take a spoonful of salt and pour it in. A glass of water will be very salty, but a grain of salt poured into a lake is no problem. Our lake is like salt, salty or bland water is like suffering or joy. Depends on your heart, big or small. Happiness comes from feeling happy as. From a light heart is by choice. Even though the work is simple, thinking too deeply and calculating too much will make it complicated. Complicated and entangled, no matter how complicated the matter is, if you know how to see it. Lighten your mind and it becomes simple and easy to solve, so when faced with some things are okay to smile about, don't be so serious. Look and know it's okay, no need to worry. Who likes to perform? Then I will clap my hands and point out. It doesn't mean anything. If someone thinks you're right, then pretend they don't see it as a loss. Debate who you are, doesn't matter who they are. It's the same. Don't be ashamed to live according to fate. Or in life, many people, many things, many emotional segments. Keep holding on, keep smiling, move forward, be open. A little will learn many things. A little elegance will be more beautiful, a little intelligence will make the smile brighter. Happy. More than article number 7, learn to let go. The world is full of people who stand tall but bow their heads. It is difficult to be humble, it is easy to talk a lot, but it is difficult to keep silent. It's easy to have many things, but it's hard to do what you promise. Doubt and think badly of others. It is easy, but trusting and thinking well of others is difficult, as we often do. See many mistakes of people but rarely see what business does for people. I remember very clearly but often forget to repay the favors others have done for me. Loving a good and lovely person is not as difficult as loving someone who is still alive. Many mistakes and shortcomings, bowing down to the evil power is easier than bowing down. Taking refuge in the saints to enjoy and pursue worldly pleasures is easier than practicing precepts in life in solitude. Keeping precepts is difficult. Following Trankan makes it easy to let go and abandon the real world, too far from the cycle of reincarnation that exists. It is difficult to be liberated, but thousands of people just need to bow once. The swamp let go of the deep ego, the sky suddenly became higher than the earth, immediately opening up wide. If you want to sit on a lotus throne, you must first stand in the mud. Moving water can do what others are afraid to do and endure what others are afraid to do. Others find it hard to bear bowing down to the Buddha with all five senses. The profound inner being of the aggregates manifests in the myriad of causes and conditions, each requesting something different. May all beings see your beautiful manifestation within them and stay where you are. Article number 8. In the mind with less desire, suffering will naturally decrease. Go mouth less nonsense. Disaster will naturally reduce. Stomach eat less toxic food. Natural illness will reduce the heart. Less thoughts are confused. Natural sadness will. Without love there are no tears. Understanding there is no need for more. Fate comes so cherish it, when it's over then let go. Life's hand is not smiling looking at life and people and yen watching the sun MC. Then LNG watch the flowers bloom and then wither. Where the dust of the world sticks, people are bothered. Which article number is a few comments. Money is for spending, enough to cover expenses is a blessing, too much will turn into a disaster. Become a source of anxiety and insecurity and the home is to stay do not turn. A burden in life no matter how big or small the person in it is happy. Where's the house? It doesn't matter if it has fragrant flowers and long grass. That's the good location. Vehicles are a means of transportation, do not turn them into tools to show off driving. It doesn't matter what, as long as you go safely and come back happy, you will be famous. World is the result of. Striving to practice is not a privilege, having a moderate reputation is a blessing. Partly because the reputation is too high and the power is too strong, it is also difficult to get. Eating and drinking, which are meant to nourish people, are also a form of medicine that should not be taken. Too extravagant eating just enough will damage your body. Man himself lives a life finally realizes what life is not. Must be too rich sand but just need each passing day to have meaning. Happiness does not come from comparing with others but from slowly feeling it with your heart. Lasting joy does not come from outside but from within each person. Article number 10. Happy enough when being picked up by others. A little is enough, don't be quick to assume it's true because most flattery is to please. Let those sweet words hit when criticized by others a little sad. Then never express anger because more or less there is something in it. If life is really miserable you need to change. There will be no time to complain. If life is too hard, where will you get the strength to blame because everything is not so extreme that you still have the heart to cry? Remember wherever or whenever you are that you live for yourself. So whatever you do, just be honest and fulfill your personal duties and you will be successful. Destiny comes from within. When choosing a path is also the moment you decide your destiny. Do not worry too much about the past, live fully in the present. And look to the future, tomorrow will surely be bright. Beautiful article number 11. Things to know. In life, everyone has two paths. One is to use the mind to experience, called dreams. 2 feet walking is called virtuous practice. If the mind cannot perceive reality in time, it will be fated feet walking. Too slow, dream will fly. The most painful thing in this world is knowing that the person you love to turn one's heart towards another but still foolishly amorous over good meetings. Separation has a certain fate, following it to be at peace is the right thing to do. The best thing is when someone is by your side if possible. Make them see and lack is a great success when childhood happiness is a very simple thing. Growing up, being able to live simply is happiness, so that all the effort is not in vain. Come here for a lifetime, do what you want to do and love what you do. Want life because of too much expectation, so disappointed, dream far away, so dissolve too much substance to be released. Some people forget that it doesn't bloom, others definitely do. Forget it because it is not worth remembering, and don't trust your eyes too much because sometimes what you see is what you want and what you don't like has been overlooked. Actually, the misunderstood person is not. Those who misjudge others truly lose. We all think we are the masters of this life, forgetting that life is. It takes a lot of people to coordinate. Don't just fight for immediate benefits. Lost long-term future should remember what is gained thanks to the sacrifice of others. Life is very short and never lasts. Time for regrets. Don't be too concerned with people or things that make you sad. Don't be sad even for a minute. If there is no final result, smile. And strong legs moving forward in the world. When you meet someone close, remember to give the person next to you a little warmth. Weather the storms of life. Give yourself a little optimism if you know how to love life skillfully. Harmonize everything and gradually joy and happiness will spread. Life is not a race but a journey. The destination is important, but the scenery along the way is important when traveling. When you are in a good mood, the scenery will be more beautiful no matter what happens today. No matter how difficult it is, believe that only yesterday cannot come back and tomorrow will definitely. To article number 12. Life seen from wrong and right. One day in class, The teacher wrote on the board some math problems: 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals 8, 8 plus 8 equals 16, 9 plus 9 equals 19. As soon as I turned back, the whole class was chattering away. The last calculation is wrong, teacher. The teacher smiled. Is the last calculation right? Exactly. Teacher wrote all 4 calculations. Why no one pay attention to the first 3 calculations? We humans are usually the same. We treat someone 10 times better. Not sure they remember, but just one time not agreeing with the good things ahead. Before, as if it did not exist, the ancients had a very good saying. A bowl of rice for a successful person, a ton of rice for a successful person. Some people get used to receiving and then forget to thank. Not everyone knows. Use the word conscience to deal with it. Even if you have 1,000 good things, you just need to do them. Give people a little displeasure, all good things will be wiped away, no matter how good you are. One who has devoted himself to his old age, but has done it wrong once, becomes a sinful person. Helped 100 times without receiving any thanks, but before you could help, you were immediately punished. To hold grudges, one should rely on kindness. Don't care too much about appearance, treat with sincerity. Only then can you hope to meet a soulmate. If you talk big, don't ask about beliefs. Knowledge is short or long. Never. Use your own standards to measure others, don't use your own understanding. To judge anyone, no one is perfect before saying someone's faults, or laugh at other people's clumsiness and reflect on yourself. Eyes are to see good things, don't just look at gossip. Is to eat and talk, not to attack Li Gang. And the most precious thing in life is not money, fame or power. Is the inner self-cultivation and character of oneself. These things speak of one's character. Of a person to judge whether someone is trustworthy or not, to know who is good person or bad person. To be human need honesty and sincerity. Sincerely, do not calculate too much because that will only hurt. When working, you should leave a way out. When talking, you should leave some morals behind. To the point of hitting a dead end and bringing disaster upon oneself, doing more good deeds is a bit more. Evil deeds will decrease, sincerity will be respected, distrust will be less and encouraged. A little more blame will be less, a little more help will be self-abuse. Will reduce attention to speaking standard words, even joking should have moderation. People live life like the morning dew, once it's gone, it's gone. Live like water with clarity. Calm and deep, then why worry about not being light and peaceful? Gentle. Article number 13. People know how to deal. Life is like a play in which each person must take turns playing many roles. From the role of children, siblings, spouses to the position of parents, understand each role clearly. Be flexible and use different mindsets to live with different identities. Together we will make your life easier and pave the way for joy and happier. One facing parents, open up. Bathed in the hearts of parents who gave us eternal life. Always be the one who cares and loves us unconditionally, don't be upset with us. Old age or nagging of parents, confide in parents about troubles. In your heart you will realize that life experience and advice of they will help you expand your horizons. Look at the two faces of children, do not frame in the rules with parents. Dignity and love must go hand in hand to effectively raise children. Your child's bad behavior is a firm no, but on the other hand you need to talk with your child equally. Let your child have choices and not always follow a rigid framework that we set, such as saying now you go to bed, or 10 more minutes to sleep is more effective than the command parents tell to go to bed. Right away facing your partner, let's show family weakness is not a place to fight. Power is not a trash can to dump all the family's frustrations. Need to be nurtured with gentle affection and respect for each other when you are tired. Show weakness to your partner, share your frustrations and pressures so that your partner can know that you need understanding and comfort to do so. Both of you will one day. The more you care and love each other, the more you accept work. The challenge of work is a mature doctrinal role, so we can't choose work tasks according to your likes and dislikes in the environment. Any workplace should be open to challenges and willing to learn. Strive to get along with everyone and improve yourself day by day. More than and for friends, let's relax completely. We all have a few close friends in front of whom you don't have to hide your troubles or pretend to be strong when in a bad mood. If you are unhappy or having trouble, make an appointment with some friends or a call to chat. Sharing with each other the joys and sorrows in life will help both sides increase the feeling of being cared for and supported. 6. To himself, take off the mask. Everyone has a weak spot. If your inner self is not yours, care, then happiness is just appearance, but care and love yourself is the soul boosting energy when you are tired and upset. Instead of trying to force yourself, smile at everyone, give yourself a moment of silence, take off your mask for now. To calm the mind is the master of the house, the body is the servant. I would like to make a few wrong lines for those who are waiting to ponder. Everything is not beyond words. Heart of article number 14. Feelings of happiness. Happiness is not about what position you hold but about wherever people are. All shall love and cherish you. Happiness is not in you accumulating CP. How much money you have but whether you can do what you like every day or not. Happiness is not in your wife. How beautiful is your husband, how successful is the smile on your face. How fresh is your spouse. Happiness is not at your home. How big is your house but how many sounds are in it. Happiness is not in the luxury car you drive but in how you keep it. Drive safely to get home safely. Happiness is not in eating well and dressing well. But there is little disaster disease. Happiness is not in the state of fire. Enthusiastic hand when you succeed but also when you feel most discouraged. Still have the one who told you, hey friend, keep trying. Happiness is not in the place you hurt. How many sweet words but when you are sad and cry. Someone said, tell you it's okay, I'm with you. Happiness isn't every day you come to the temple to seek but right in the middle of this bustling life. You can still build a quiet temple in your soul. I am happy because I know how to turn big things into small things. Like smoke and clouds, my heart is like the vast sea. Life article number sunshine rain face. Life in each person has its own sky, sometimes windy, sometimes stormy. I am in there and others cannot interfere. In every heart there are. The love scene has sweet and bitter moments. Sometimes I don't see it clear and others do not understand and feelings cannot be expressed as call. Because tears cannot fall, I see how cruel life is. Falling all day showing off a bright smile in front of the world makes it difficult. Share confidence is used to saying proud words of success so pain no longer has a chance. Expressing advice to others is true but it comes down to your own. Think forever but still can't understand. Advise others to be clear-headed. When you encounter headaches, it is a common thing for people to have. There are some things that if they don't come to you, you won't feel the full weight of them. Some situations, if not me, will not understand all the feelings inside. If you know clearly that the storms of life or the beautiful sunshine of the world are only temporary. What matters is what remains afterwards, so why worry about the changes? Just live well as the person you are now. Article number 16 collects flowers of thought. Coins always make noise and paper money is always silent. As your value increases, keep yourself humble and talk less. Life is like a book, some chapters are sad, some chapters are happy and some of the chapters are fun, but if you've never tried flipping through a page you will never know what is in the next chapter. Don't be too hard on yourself, even mistakes mean you're wrong. Trying hard to pick up the phone no matter what. In any situation, smile because the other person will feel your smile. You, the tongue has no bones but is strong enough to break a heart, so be careful with your words. You never try to explain people. Be friends with everyone because those who trust you don't need it and those who don't. If I like you, I won't believe you. Remember 3 things, try to be steadfast, believe, try for a good future. Be persistent in your work and believe in yourself. Every person you meet every day is your teacher. A wise person teaches you. The morality of compassion teaches you the morality of acceptance. Shame thinking creates so many problems. But it is the attempt to find solutions to imaginary problems and solutions. Imagination goes on and on like. So the person who knows he is stupid is not a fool, but the person who thinks he is stupid is not a fool. The smartest person is actually the dumbest of all people. Stupid universe, all things are one. Interrelated. When you harm the land, river and the living beings, live on it. Actually you are hurting yourself when you give it away. Actually, you are doing yourself a favor if you want to be happy regularly. Don't put your happiness in superficial things. Look at money. Your house and car are not borrowed from others. Make good use of them. But don't be infatuated with them, just do it, you will enjoy life. Simple but fun. If you're not careful you'll make a fuss. You are always busy making a living, but why just to make a living? Eat the chickens that laugh and peck for food but end up getting eaten by people. Meat. Is it true that people are busy all their lives just to die? Stop a life of wandering and sorrow over the years. Heart heavy with worries from where who? Tied to the knot then tied to the karma. Tran article number 17 and yen in the life. Normally, no one remembers even if we do 1,000 good deeds. But if we commit a mistake, one mistake and even breathing will be scrutinized, so be human. Don't care too much about other people's opinions. Live for a brighter tomorrow. Ashamed to think of myself today. Time is a one-way street. Once you've passed, you can't go back. Life is sometimes very simple when you've made your choice. Choose then, do not regret. People often very conflicting desire to be sympathetic but also afraid of others seeing through in life. There are some things that are overthought. Then headache thinking about it, then heartache. If someone intends to wait, will definitely wait. Get to the end, but the person who was unintentionally when you just turned his back quickly grabbed the table. Other hand, actually in this world people see you smile can be a lot, but there are very few true friends in the heart if you have been hurt in the past. Then definitely do not bring that burden to the future. What is dead is not. Should not hold on too much hope. Maturity is a word containing many things. Pain is not just about what you gain but also about what you give up. There are roads that can only be walked alone, difficult and arduous, and cannot be shared with anyone. Cherish those moments because after all we only have one life to live. Stop distant illusions, no need to worry about the past. Should dream about things that have not come yet, focus all your mind on the present moment. Is this article number 18 Chan? Happiness is to be felt, not to be shown. Life is to be experienced, not for trust. Feelings to connect, not for testing. Parents are to be filial, is not to demand. Friends are to share, not to compare. Family is to be cared for, not to be hurt. Money is to be spent, not must measure. Fame is to contribute, not to show off. Material things is to use, not to believe. Is to be sure, not to. Digital article pressure. 19 differences of crying. See tired. Try changing perspective about life under pressure. Try changing the environment to breathe. If in doubt, try changing. Change place. Evaluate. Hesitate. Try change direction. In choice. When upset, try to change the situation. Find joy. Meet trouble. Try change your mindset to resolve resentment. Try changing your approach to resolve it. Feel self-conscious. Try to change your thinking when facing. Change your perspective a little bit. Sometimes you will discover many other things. Special article number 20 If have a mind of following fate, you will live an open life. If you have a peaceful heart, you will have a self-righteous lifestyle. If you have compassion in your heart, you will be able to do many things. If you cultivate a grateful heart, you will feel happier. If be aware of the law of cause and effect, decisions will become wise. If you know when should we give up looking at this, life will be more joyful. If we keep a simple heart, the work, whatever comes, will be very simple. If you practice a habit of daily reflection, through you will be more aware of the myriad of fates following the water crossing bridge of happiness. Sadness, hate, suffering is in me. No 6 desires, 7 emotions. Life is peaceful and happy because of the calm view. Still living in the middle. Tranduan still has a fragrant lotus heart in the midst of the turbid land. Oh, joy and sadness of all lives brought into the world of nothingness. Smiling. Laugh. The biggest mistake people make is never controlling their emotions. They live too instinctive. There are things just because of a little impulsiveness that can do great things. Just need people, no matter how close they are, will sometimes argue. That's the law, so don't let it happen. Anger overwhelms reason. Only when there is conflict do we learn lessons and gain understanding. Development. Never allow yourself to live for the world because maybe not. Who is sincere from beginning to end? When you have it all, then you are their idol. Let me tell you, good words and beautiful ideas. When you have nothing left, you are just a speck. Usually in their stories. Only in this world there are many strange people. Only see other people's mistakes but not see the garbage piled up on your head. Many people find it fun to criticize others. It's true that no one in this world is perfect, so accept that there will be someone who always tries to find your mistakes, like a person who is in need. A poor person will feel uncomfortable with those who have more than enough. A resentful person will feel uncomfortable with those who have more than enough. Another, as if provoking and attacking himself. A cunning person will see others also. Dishonesty is the way we perceive others. Reflects one's inner self, easily hateful, easily resentful, easily upset. Europe also originates from inner turmoil and greed, anger and ignorance. We all want to have a ticket back to childhood, because when we were young we were so innocent and laughed so easily. The older we get, the lonelier we feel upset, and it is difficult to have the so-called happiness then for whom. But we turn from a happy and innocent child into a dry, irritable and unhappy person for no reason. Different is because we stubbornly wear a pair of low glasses to look at life. Imagine when we were young we looked at life with our innocent eyes, but now time makes us look at life with our innocent eyes. People lose that clear view of the world, like being put on a lone hole glasses full of color streaks. The development of society makes us forever wandering around with right and wrong theories about life and other people. There are 2 tendencies: to look at the things you like and the people you love through rose-colored glasses, and vice versa. Things I don't want, people I don't like through the lens. Black is when in a happy mood we look at people and things in life in a more forgiving way. We can smile at jokes. The children's naughtiness is patient enough to listen to a difficult story. Easy to compromise with things that seem hard to accept at times. As if the whole world becomes so peaceful with just a little worry rising in the heart. The worries and fears about the past and the future make our mind Insecurity. Immediately we will see a lot of garbage on other people's heads when the children's laughter and shouting will make Ton annoyed. Displeasing words easily make us angry or hurt over small things. What was normally not a concern suddenly became an unbearable annoyance. We start to scrutinize people to find out their mistakes. Criticize them, and criticize them as a way to comfort your own restless mind regardless. No matter what other people are right or wrong, we don't listen and are not willing to accept. To find fault with someone else's head. A pile of rubbish to criticize. Will criticizing them make our lives better? Or will it? It is the constant seeing of faults in others that makes our image in the eyes of our friends and colleagues become bad. Someone once said that trying to find fault with others is bring garbage home and put it on our heads. We pay attention to something bad is to bring more trouble to people. Life is so short, life is so short. You never know, no one knows when death will call their name. So don't waste time judging other people's mistakes, don't hold on to them. Take those loon glasses and let them go to let life appear more beautiful, to be happy enough easily. Didn't the ancients teach that if you always see other people's mistakes, but not seeing one's own mistakes is not wisdom but misfortune? Why life and people? What is a person's path in this human world like? The universe is incomprehensible, so no matter who you are, you should not be arbitrary. There are many things you need to know about judging others and life as soon as possible, so your life will not be tired and difficult. Don't mind what people say behind your back, because they are the ones who just dig up mistakes in your life instead of fixing your own mistakes. Accept the fact that others have the right to criticize, but you are not obliged to agree with everything they say. Live the life you like as long as you don't harm anyone, no matter what others say or do. Talk bad about your friends and even your parents, follow your heart and practice it. Steele follows his passion and sets out to prove others wrong. The most difficult thing in life is to understand who you are in the midst of it. The world always wants to make you someone else, so being yourself is the greatest achievement. You can do. People rarely judge right from wrong clearly. It is clear that by reason people often act according to their emotions, prejudices, and consistency is according to your inherent pride. If you do not allow it, no one can make you feel worse. We always have two tendencies to look at things. I like people I love to look at me with rose-colored glasses, and vice versa. Things I don't want people I don't like with black negative glasses. Actually, it's not because of that. The world has problems or other people are so wrong, but the problem lies right in our own mind. When looking at life with a problematic mind filled with negative emotions and prejudices, then we see everyone is wrong and everything we touch turns into hurt. Everyone is responsible for their own life. If you are only interested in living to please others, you will never find yourself in this life, so try not to waste your time. Live in the moment and put aside all the gossip of the outside world in your life. How do other people go? How do they go? The person who stands outside will never be the same. It is impossible to understand, so no one has the right to comment on them because they have never experienced them. Being in their shoes would never feel it. Maybe you are right. Maybe their hardship is nothing in your eyes, but you cannot use your position to judge or criticize. Quote, no matter what happens, you should not say too much about an issue. Don't be too subjective. Sometimes we should understand and stand on the other person's perspective. Another way to consider the issue is to have a fable like this one where there was a pig and a sheep, a dairy cow locked in the same cage. Once DM chopped piglet. The pig screamed loudly against the sheep and the cow was shocked by the pig's screams. Pig make upset angry yell, you overdo it, he is also good. Came to catch us, we didn't scream that loud. The pig heard that and replied, he caught us. You guys are not like me, he caught you guys for wool and milk, but he caught me for lamb and milk, and that's it. The silent story above shows us that people from different positions live in different circumstances. It will be difficult to understand other people's feelings if, as we can stand in the position of others to look at the problem, we will understand why others are like that. We'll be closer to the truth and also make the feelings between people more sincere. Closer together, so misunderstandings and conflicts are reduced with one more person. You are one less enemy. Aren't all the endings in this world? Everything happens for a reason, even everyone's life. There are also joys, anger, love, and hate that others cannot know. There are people, often without asking clearly about black and white, hastily criticizing others as due to not clearly understanding the reason behind before criticizing. Someone must understand the story ahead of it if not clear black and white already. Rushing to criticize will unintentionally hurt others. If you change positions, you will find out. Nowadays the world does not revolve around you alone. Everyone has their own form, their own story. They are all main actors in their own world, even though is the story peaceful or ironic? Everyone has to go through their own unique or tragic stories. Or happiness. Life is impermanent. Everyone has tears, pain. Learn to accept and sympathize with each person you meet. There is a true story like this. There was a doctor who received a phone call. The boy's father was a patient and rushed to the hospital for surgery. Out of control, yelled at the doctor, "Why are you so late? You don't know. My son is in danger in there. Why are you so irresponsible?" The doctor smiled calmly. "Smile, sorry, I was not at the hospital, just received a phone call. I'm so angry, please calm down." If the child in the emergency room was your son, can you calm down? If your son died, what would you do? The boy's father spoke angrily because the doctor was calm. "Smile, I will silently pray. We come from dust and return to each other. Dust fish prayer is the word of God. Please pray for my father's son." The angry boy who could say such a thing could only be the kind of heartless person who worships the lives of others. A few hours later, the surgery was successful as the doctor happily walked out. The operating room told the boy's father, "Thank God, my son is saved." Without waiting for the boy's father to reply, the doctor quickly left and said, "What's the matter, doctor?" Asked the nurse why he is so arrogant. "For a few minutes, let me ask. My son's situation also cannot wait." Why? The boy's father turned to be indignant with the nurse. "The nurse is a bit red. The doctor's son had just died in an accident yesterday when we called him. The doctor came to operate on his son and he was on his way to his son's funeral and he was told by his son, 'I have to hurry back and finish the funeral for my son.' What gossip? What happened in their lives? What they are going through, hardships and pain, how tormented standing in their position. You and I probably cannot understand that. What you see is just the surface. But don't easily discuss them because we are not rational enough to understand joy, anger, love and hate in their lives, to sympathize with their joys and sorrows. Their stance. Each person is different, living in different conditions, so it is true. It's hard to understand how someone else feels, so don't criticize them at will. Comment makes them more hurt. A truly educated person, Duong, will use his kind and tolerant heart to help others become better. Actually, it is also helping yourself become better by looking at the pain. Only when you have gone through hardships yourself can you understand how much hardships others see. The pain and suffering that we ourselves do not let anyone touch to know life. Other people's lives are actually the same. There are ups and downs, just like that. Looking back, we go through difficulties to know how they go through difficulties. The one who truly understands cultivation will understand the weight of NGOing. It can be a knife blade, it can also be is a rose with someone they understand. Should not only stand on their own perspective. Looking at one side of an issue like this will not cause more pain between people. Each flower is a world, each leaf a separate Bodhi realm. Actually, to do this, difficult to sympathize with others, tolerance with others will find sobriety. There is a very good saying in life like this: happiness is not determined by where money is, not power or looks. Happiness is determined by how you treat others. If you want to be a happy person, start being tolerant with others. When we begin to be tolerant of others and live in the present as well, when we learn to be present, to feel the small joys and happiness around us, we learn to appreciate them. Cherish every passing moment, to be grateful for what we have and what the universe gives us, has given to each of us. Have you ever felt discouraged and despair when having to constantly witness negative things around you? Must be when you just want to hide in a corner, not daring to open your heart to cultivate and accept other people's feelings for fear of being hurt. But have you ever smiled secretly when you saw a small act of kindness? Like a girl helping an old man cross the street, or someone giving you a message. Sincere encouragement when you need it most is like a small candle can be low, bright all night dark. Radio Street believe that one act of kindness is enough to push back the darkness. Negativity surrounds our lives. All we really need is to join hands to do good deeds for a better world. Life is like a journey on a train. When we are born, we step on, get on the train and meet mom and dad, and we believe that mom and dad will always be there. But then at some station, mom and dad got off and left me alone for a while. As others pass by, they will board the train with us, our brothers and sisters, our friends and our other half. Many of us will get off the train and leave a permanent void to think of every time. My heart carries the cool train of life, full of joys, anger, love and hate, to welcome farewell and eternity. We don't know which station we will get off at, so we have to live our best life. The most complete love, forgiveness gives the best in us, because when it comes, when we have to get off the train and leave that empty place forever, we should leave behind the best memories for those who will continue the train of life. Life is a long journey with countless events and challenges that require us to overcome. But life is not a trap waiting for us to fall into and then judge. These tragic events will help us grow up with profound lessons. Color behind it. So what we learn from life, probably a lot, but there is lessons that we cannot ignore, such as the lesson of gratitude. How many times a day do you say and hear the word thank you? When you say thank you, you have. Say it with all your heart. Surely you have enjoyed many times watching the joy. See the joy in someone's eyes when you give them a gift or help them. A good thing when you have difficulty you lend a hand, someone help, grateful. It's not just saying thank you to someone else, it's also acknowledging important help. Their hearts towards you to bring each person's heart closer together. True gratitude will be the power to transform our lives. Better lesson about caring in life. Everyone needs love and care and will share it with someone who doesn't care. It's simply a matter of seeing how that person lives and whether their life is fulfilling or not. The most important thing is that love comes from the heart and knows how to inspire confidence in others. Remember that sometimes words are meaningless. Simple and easy to erase the wounds in the heart. Caring for others is the way to enrich your soul. Also need to be cared for and will share, so never refuse to care if someone needs you or you need someone. Lessons on help in the life we don't live alone, and not everything can be overcome by ourselves. We need help. People's help is the same. People need our help. For example, if someone is having trouble starting a car, an elderly person is struggling carrying a bag, dad or a pregnant woman looking for a seat on the bus when they met. In such cases you can reach out and do what you should do. No lesson in spiritual self-discipline. Self-awareness is the ability to overcome emotional barriers to take immediate action based on your mind. Imagine one day you are walking on the street and see a big stone in the middle of thy road because you carried it till a road but you left its face there. There was an old man with poor eyesight who accidentally tripped over a rock and fell onto the road. Oh Luke! Now you realize that if you had voluntarily thrown the stone away, everything would have been fine. Differently, self-discipline is like a useful medicine to help you overcome diseases like procrastination and laziness. Prevent you from doing many good things. More in his life lesson about sacrifice. Life is an indispensable part of life. Every dream must come true. Paying a price when dreams come true also means you have to give up some things. You definitely have the right to choose your sacrifices for. So please choose later so that your sacrifice brings the most good things for life and countless other lessons. But what matters is not how many lessons we learn, but what lessons we learn. What matters is how we implement those lessons in our lives. Turn those lessons into concrete actions to make your life better. We are better and more wonderful this time reading. Please select very many profound and meaningful stories about numbers are life-changing stories. Often about familiar and ordinary people, but hidden deep within each story are profound messages about love and kindness in life. Life always has two sides, good and bad coexistence. It is important that we choose to focus our energies on the why do we keep focusing on negative things to become pessimistic, and in times of despair, why don't we look at the good things that still exist? Always be present in this life to realize that you still have a reason to continue to love, and therefore we still have reason to continue to hope. Besides, we should also thank life for giving us the opportunity to suffer so that from that suffering we can know how to sympathize with the suffering of others and love love more people. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this reading. The following short stories will help we have a more optimistic and cheerful outlook on life. Hopefully, after listening, you will be willing to put aside your doubts and open your heart to give and receive love, because after all we live to. What if not to love? Finally, I'm home after 2 months in hospital from a terrible accident. The horror took away my right arm. I was so desperate and pessimistic when thinking about changing my life at 60 years old is bad for my health. I've also lost a lot of things and I'm scared to see that now I have to depend on others. Different from the arch in front of the beloved house welcoming me back, and the familiar scene slowly appeared before the eyes of my children and grandchildren came out to welcome me home. My heart was filled with an indescribable feeling of warmth and happiness. Home is where I have so many memories with my loved ones. I love to step out into the garden. The grass and trees around the house are starting to grow green and bloom after a few days. The day is like burning, the tiny white long flowers dotting the grass. It's been a long time since I've been able to breathe the scent of the fields and wind and relax. Watching the dandelions in the wind, suddenly black clouds crossed the sky, then hurriedly came down the July shower. My children hurriedly ran out, led me into the kitchen. The grilled meat smelled delicious in the cool space. Thanks to the sudden rain, my youngest daughter Doe took my hand and placed it on her belly and whispered, "Father, we need you, and this grandchild also needs Grandpa to bless." The blessing of the day I was born did not let me sit alone for a second. My grandchildren surrounded me, jostled each other to sit on his lap, and chattered about the next morning. I woke up early to take the dog. The dog walked around the duck farm, taking care of the ducks to lay eggs. The pretty straw nests. The hens took advantage of the early morning sun to go out into the yard to spread their feathers and then come back I was incubating the eggs that were about to hatch, thinking to myself, soon you'll be here. Working hard with a little baby sloth. Pia has changed her fur lamb. What a beautiful white dress, maybe it knows I'm not still as healthy as before, so just gently rubbed his head against me but not stubbornly cried out like usual. Suddenly I heard a faint cry came from the bushes behind the fence. I stopped and poked my nose into the ground to search. I looked around cautiously and saw a pair of big black eyes. The deer that was looking at me scared turned out to be a fawn that had its leg caught in my fence. Signaled Misa to stay still and then approached him from behind the poplar trees at the edge of the deer forest. Mother kept watching us. The fawn whimpered softly, its chest heaving with fear. When my hand touched him, I gently pressed him to the ground and used his only arm to carefully pry the fawn's trapped leg free. Try not to hurt it. After a while of struggling, I was able to free the fawn in a flash. He ran into the woods to where my mother was lying on the grass, her heart filled with anxiety. An indescribable feeling, and the snake was licking my hand as if to share the joy. I laughed and hugged. See the puppy in your arms? I just saved a life. That networked just in a minute. The feeling of boredom in me disappeared. I felt with a great change in my soul. I was able to enjoy the sweetness of the wind carrying the scent of young grass wafting over the lake. Hearing the slow note in the song of the larks happily welcoming the new day, I learned to open my heart, to listen to every rhythm of nature and enjoy the most beautiful and simple things that life has to offer. Me, and most importantly, I find myself still living. There are many opportunities in life. There is no right or wrong choice. By the choice you make, you will lead you to different opportunities. The path you are on is the sum of all of choices. Choosing which path to take doesn't matter because you don't never know what will happen ahead. Have the courage to walk the path you have chosen and don't look back when you feel like backing out or borrowing the statue. What would have happened if you had chosen a different path? Think about why you decided to go that way. If you choose this path from the beginning, remember to choose your own path. You are luckier than many people, so don't regret what you have done. I have decided to hold my head high and accept the challenges and opportunities that other paths have. May give you different experiences, but at the end of the day you will still have a life that is beautiful and unique to you. As the Steel Dr. I saw said that the most precious thing for a person is life. You only live once and you must live so as to have no regrets for the years you have wasted. Months lived in vain to avoid shame because of the mean and cowardly past. So that when I close my eyes and pass away I can say that all my life and all my strength I have given sacrifice for the noblest cause in the world, fighting for the liberation of mankind. Number story people. 2 and 3 workers were working at a construction site of a building when a man came to see the first worker. His clothes were very dirty and sweaty. The person standing there looking unhappy asked him what he was doing. The worker replied, "I'm stacking bricks." The second worker replied, "He's stacking bricks." Asked what he was doing, the worker replied, "I'm making $20 a day." The third day the worker's clothes were dirty and his body was also lightly sweaty. But his face was bright and excited. He worked as hard as the other 2. But for him, the job doesn't seem as heavy and stressful as it did for his 2 brothers. The man asked the third worker what he was doing. He replied, "I am building a cathedral." So what is the lesson here? Look. Work from the perspective of purpose rather than the activities we are doing. Whatever you can do or dream of doing, go for it. Talent, power and magic are always on the side of those who dare to think and dare to abuse. Story number 3. A guy decides to come true. Realize his dream but he is not strong enough to do it. He come to mom, "Mom, help me. Your son is willing to help me but mom doesn't have that everything mother has." Mother gave to her son. Then the boy went to see a wise man. "Sir, show me where I can find the power. They say that above Everest we reached and found nothing but gentle snow winds. And when we return to lost time, we cannot get back." The boy who asked a hermit, "Dear sir, please show me where I can find the strength to transform my dream come true in my child's prayers." Boy, if your dream is not real, you will understand and find it yourself. Find peace in prayer. The young man asked many people, but the result of the journey to find power is still only wilderness. "Mom, why do you look so worried?" An old man passed by and asked the young man. "Yes, I have a dream, Grandpa, but I don't know where to get the strength to make it come true. I've asked everywhere. Everest to hell, but no one can help me." No one. Old man wink. Have you asked yourself when your stock is available? So, don't waste your life living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma. Live by other people's thoughts. Don't let other people's noisy opinions overwhelm you. Your inner voice, and most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. Somehow heart and intuition knows what you really want. Everything else is secondary. No matter who you are, be a martyr. Story number 4. 2 days before I turned 18. 30 I feel anxious as I step into a new 10-year journey of life. And fear that the best years are behind me. My daily routine is: every morning before I go to the gym, I see a man in his 70s with a good figure in the gym. One morning when I greeted him, he noticed that I was lacking vitality and asked, "What's wrong with me?" I said, "I feel anxious about turning 30. I wondered how I would feel looking back on my life when I was your age, so I asked him, what is the best stage of life? Without hesitation, Mr. Dapp, here is my slightly philosophical answer to your somewhat philosophical question. When I was a kid, I lived at that time in Australia. I was taken care of and raised by my parents. That was a beautiful period. The best time of my life when I started school and learned many of the things I know today. It was the best time of my life when I got my first job. And taking responsibility for getting paid for your efforts is the stage. The most beautiful time of my life was when I met my wife and fell in love with her. That was the most beautiful time. The best part of my life was when we came to Canada and started that family life. It was the best time of my life when I became a young father, looking at the children grow up every day. That is the most beautiful period of my life. And now I am 79 years old now. I am healthy. I feel peaceful and happy. With my wife, the first time we met was the most beautiful time of my life. I live each day as if it were your last, is a saying. Everyone knows how to advise, but who really has the strength to do it? What if God does not reign, or when you are sad? This advice will not be practical. It is better to live good and brave and strong and making a difference, exactly, not to replace. Change the world that a little around you nurtures loyal friendships with your principles, and live passionately and fully and experience the new thing to love and be loved if you have the chance. Story 5. It is said that Abraham Lincoln often sneaks out of the White House on Wednesday evenings to go hear the pastor Dr. Finn Gurley at the Elder Church, New York Avenue, preaching. Usually the president just likes himself and goes to church without anyone knowing. So when Dr. Gurley knew the president was coming, he left the door of the room ajar to see his ceremonial gown. Once the president sneaked out the side door, church and sat in the room, saw the pastor's vestments right next to the altar sitting in that room. He left the door open just enough to hear the sermon. The pastor was on his way home from church when a guard officer called Abraham Lincoln to evaluate him. How about the president's lecture? Think carefully and then answer. The content of the lecture is great. The presentation style is very artistic, obviously because the pastor put a lot of effort into choosing the songs. The president said that it was a great lecture, officer. Asked again, Lincoln did not answer, but he just said the content of the lecture was great. The sermon was very well presented, and it shows that the pastor put a lot of effort into choosing the sermon. The officer ventured to ask, "Yes," Lincoln replied, "but Dr. Gurley forgot missing an indispensable element. He forgot to remind us to try to do something really meaningful. Means living an average life and achieving average results. There is nothing wrong with this beautiful world. It is mainly built on the accumulated efforts from day to day. This month of ordinary people, but living in life also needs to know how to struggle to do something meaningful." That Lincoln seemed to have realized. Linsky once said that maybe it's time for you to stand up and walk towards the pain only can exist in the absence of acceptance and forgiveness. The past can guide for you, but don't let it lead you. Take it slow and accept your destiny. Good for the present and today before looking forward to a better tomorrow full of promise. We are often disappointed by the most trustworthy people, are often loved by the most unexpected people. Some people make us cry. The things we don't do, while others overlook our mistakes and only see our smiles. Some people leave us when we need them the most, while others stay even when we need them the most. Tell them to go away. This life has all kinds of people. We just need to know which hand to catch and which hand to hold. Life is like that. Learn to hold and learn to let go. Sometimes words are not enough to make someone understand that you care about them a lot. Sometimes it takes a little effort to get them to understand that they really need to be loved. From today, when we look back on the past, we will smile and say to ourselves, "I don't think I can do that. But I did it. I left behind all those who tried to bring me down." Always remember who we are. We all have our own opinions and beliefs. We all have different ways of dealing with difficulties and joys in life. Life to maintain one's differences without hurting others is knowing how to live. Or as Mark once said, 20 a year from now you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So untie the rope to let the boat leave the safety barrier and set the sail. Catch the wind to find sin's dreams. Explores through the stories we just told. See that we only live once. There is no chance to live again a second time. Two main in this life. Repeating your life plan is very important. If not, you just drift along a default flow of discovering your own value and needs. Yours, and where you will find fulfillment in life. Discover your dreams. Think carefully about the things you want to do in life. Choose to make your life focus on your most important dreams. Big goals. Set goals to achieve your dreams. Create. Successfully planning to make goal achievement a part of your daily life should not take up too much time. There is no time to regret the past in vain or complain about changes that make us uncomfortable, because change is inevitable. In life there will always be a situation or circumstance in life that we need to get over. It is just an event in our life. We can't control everything that happens in life, but we can control how we react to it. What happens to our attitude? We can control our attitude. Choose and decide. Don't be paralyzed by other people's pain. By understanding your worth, you have the strength within to hold your head high. Then do it. Understand that you can't control other people's reactions, you can only control your actions and your reaction. Understand that even if you are suffering, you still have the ability to control your emotions, to turn everything around the way you think in life. You can master your mental behavior, beliefs, thoughts, and memories. Always remember that this will give you the freedom to be yourself. Live your own life. No one or you can let anyone take it away. Those things from you, that is your power, that is your ability, that depends. It belongs to you, not someone else. Own it, master it, master it. Your life. Go and never stop dreaming, never stop believing. Never give up hope, no matter how hard things are. Everything is just a facade. We should never let trials and pains, difficulties and obstacles stop us. Don't let failure to reach your potential discourage you from achieving your full potential. Hope everyone can escape. Running it's so easy, facing difficulties and solving them, that is the real thing. What makes us strong? You will know that you have made the right decision. When you find peace in your heart, don't listen to what others tell you to do, start listening to your heart. You only have a few people in your life who are sincere with you, and you should be one of them. Among them, listen to the voice of their own heart and soul. Too much people who listen to other people's words instead of their own, deep down you know. Get what you want, don't let anyone else decide for you for your life. Promise yourself to be strong so that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Look at the bright side of everything. Think only about the good things and turn your optimism into reality. Strive for the best and expect the best. Live by it. The belief that the world will be on your side when you live true to the best of yourself. Always be yourself. There is always something you can do better than others. Listen to your inner voice and have the courage to follow it, and one day you will realize that you have done too much for someone, and the next thing is to stop and let them fend for themselves. Let go doesn't mean you give up either. You don't have to try, but that means you have to define the limits of persistence and disappointment. What is truly yours will eventually be yours, and what is not, no matter how hard you try, will never be yours. Belong to you. You must have thought that taking small steps seems insignificant. It is often better to take small steps in the right direction than to continue standing still. Keep going and you will overcome obstacles that have defeated you before, even if you haven't seen results yet. Don't give up right away, because every step you take will move you towards your goal. The negative is still affecting you in ways you never imagined. A meaningful life is not rich, famous, highly educated and perfect. A meaningful life is to live truly with yourself, humble, share yourself and care for others. Only then can we live a happy, fulfilled and fulfilling life. Likewise, peace of mind is an important value. You will know that you are living this value whenever you realize that you are loved no matter what you do. Whenever you feel you have to be grateful for the favors others have shown you, and whenever you feel the unconditional love of others, appreciate the joy. You will know you are living this value whenever you feel like you are going to work in a good mood. And every morning you wake up feeling grateful for the blessings you have received and the beauty around you. You and the people in your life take your health seriously. Know that you are living this value whenever you treat your body with respect and love. Love, as the Lama said, I guess the core of the problem is us. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, and the only thing we really have is right now. Here it is, so don't stay angry for too long. Learn to forgive, love with all your heart, enjoy the joy. Live life the way you want, don't worry that others don't like you, have fun with people who like you. Wake up every day thinking that today I am lucky. Lucky to be alive in this life. I have a precious life. I will not waste it. I will use all my energy to develop myself. Be kind to everyone. I will think well of others. I will not get angry or think badly of others. I will help others as much as I can. I do not choose. We have the right to choose where we were born, but we have the right to choose how we live.